NSFW. What human experiment would you want to see happen if ethics was of no concern? Pregnancy in zero gravity, to see how we would fare as a space-exploring species in the future. Brain transplants. I would rent a giant island and fill it with 1,000 guys named Dennis. I would leave them the tools to survive if they work together. Then I would add one guy called Brian. When they introduce themselves to each other, I would watch Brian intently while the experiment takes place. Will he turn into some kind of leader, or would he be lost in a world of Dennises? I want a Truman Show someone. How far can we replace the entirety of the human body with the exception of the brain with mechanical components, synthetic organs, servo limbs, circuitry-based nervous system all connecting to the brain? How far can we go? How close can we get to almost pure cyberization? Could we replace the half of the brain behind memory and logic with an entirely computerized part, so that the individual can think faster and better? What would happen if that half of the brain had a true artificial intelligence linked with a human conscience? Would they coexist? Would the AI understand human concepts better? Would the human even be able to survive the process? Do they still have their soul? Would sensors to essentially replace our senses and replicate them in our brain keep us from feeling less human? Basically, how long till I can become a tech priest, damn it? I'm curious about what would happen if they redid the Stanford prison experiment but with real laboratory conditions instead of some bullshittery. Not an experiment, but if millions actually raided Area 51. How many people would be shot before the government says fuck it, let 'em see the aliens? Locking people in dark rooms for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and a decade. I'd like to see what happens to their vision and mental health. Conditioning children. Start in the infancy and put them in various types of parenting. From a scale of strictest to most lenient. All the factors are the same, just different parents. I really want to know the effects of parenthood to children. Mock trials where the jury doesn't know they're a part of it. New rules though, if they push for the death penalty they must have a hand in the matter. On the day of the execution they all are in separate rooms and each with their own button. With the inmate hooked up to a lethal injection device. They have 1 minute to push a button and it must be unanimous. If not, the person is acquitted. Would people do it? Would they have the conviction if they had to be held to their word? I think people like to say things but don't follow through. Of course at the end we reveal it was an experiment. What bias would we see and what not? Edit. Thank you for the civil replies. I've seen people link the Milgram experiment and I am aware of it, and I adjusted my setup to account for that. The people are not being told by outside figures what to do. The system is the same in that the jury decided the death penalty is appropriate after the usual court proceedings. The thing I am changing is that instead of them passing their judgment and walking away, they have the chance to anonymously take it back or have a shared hand in finishing it. So it's not so easy to separate yourself from the gravity of the situation. It would allow us to get some data on what makes people so sure of such drastic measures and how peer pressure and reflection may change their mind or cause people to re-evaluate their moral code. I would find it very interesting to see what the human sleeping rhythm would get if the human is not exposed to the day and night cycle, including time, in any way for some time. Cloning and harvesting the body parts of your own clones. Death experiments. Effects of extended sleep deprivation. Already known to be fatal. However, extended timeline of symptoms is unknown. Total sensory deprivation. Remove all senses and have subject report experiences. Insanity is sure to follow. Lifetime caloric restriction diet effects in humans. Estimates of effects are 4 times remaining lifespan. If implemented from birth and maturity, what is maximum lifespan? Take someone with severe schizophrenic delusions and mold their surroundings according to their delusions. E.g., they think they are Jesus. Get a bunch of people to act like they believe it and start following the Monsieur if they think the Government is after them. Have some men in black captured the monsieur? What would happen with their delusions? I want to see how many waves of 5-year-olds I can fight. Give me a crowbar and I think I could reach 75 before I get tired or they defeat me. Keeping people alive no matter what. How far can the human body go before it dies? A lot of stuff with how brains work. How long someone who is morbidly obese, 600 plus lbs could survive with just taking multivitamins. I might sound crazy, but what if you just made an enclosure habitat with a human baby male in it and let it live in there? Feed it food and water secretly without it being exposed to other humans. And when he becomes an adult, let in a human female and see if A, the human male has sexual desire for the female, B, tries to communicate to the female, and C, displays monkey-like behavior. Can a human die of physical pain alone? If a person was tortured with little to no physical harm to the body, let's say artificial stimulation of pain receptors or something like the Cruciatus curse for Harry Potter fans, how long would they last until they just died? Can a butthole really stretch 1 foot?